What's up, everybody? Nick Dwyer back for the 10th inning, here with another episode of This Day in Sports History. In yesterday's episode, we saw Dean Smith, basketball coach for UNC, officially retire as the winningest college basketball coach of all time. Now, since then that has changed. Now he currently sits in 5th place on the list, but at the time of the retirement, he did have the most. We don't have any college basketball coaches retiring today, but we do have some more World Series to get into today. We actually have an Olympic Games opening today, and we have some history in the Middle East. So if you all enjoy this video, leave a like on it. If you're new to the channel, like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to it. This Day in Sports History. And we will start out today in 1920 in the World Series in baseball. Cleveland Indians outfielder Elmer Smith would hit the first ever Grand Slam in the World Series in an 8-1 victory over the Brooklyn Robins in Game 5 of the World Series. From Game 5, we go to Game 1 in 1923, and the New York Giants and the New York Yankees would become the first teams to play each other for 3 consecutive years in the World Series. This would also be the first World Series played at the house that Ruth built, Yankee Stadium. 1 year later, we have the end of a World Series now in 1924, and the Washington Senators would win their first and only World Series, defeating the New York Giants 4-3 in 12 innings to win the 7-game series 4-3. Now we have the Cardinals for a little bit. We started in 1926, and the St. Louis Cardinals would defeat the New York Yankees 3-2 in 7 games to win the series 4-3 and win their first of 11 World Series titles. Then 5 years later, we have the Cardinals once again, this time defeating the Philadelphia Athletics 4-2 in 7 games to win the series 4-3 and win their second of 11 titles. Off the Cardinals now, and we go to the Juggernauts. We go to the New York Yankees in 1937. They would defeat the New York Giants 4-2 in 5 games, winning the series 4-1 to win their 6th of 27 titles. Take a break off the Yankees, go to the Tigers in 1945. The Tigers would defeat the Cubs 9-3 in Game 7 to win the series 4-3, and this would be their second of 4 championships. Back to the Yankees in 1951 in the World Series. The Yankees would defeat the New York Giants 4-3 in Game 6 to win the series 4-2, and this would be their 14th of 27 titles. This would also be Joe DiMaggio's final game in the MLB. Stick with the Yankees in 1956. The Yankees would defeat the Dodgers 9-0 in Game 7 of the series to win 4-3, win their 17th of 27 titles, and Don Larson, throwing a perfect game obviously, will do this for you. He won World Series MVP. 1 year later in 1957, back to the Yankees, but this time they don't end up winning. The Milwaukee Braves would defeat the New York Yankees 5-0 in Game 7 for a 4-3 series victory over the Yankees, and the Braves pitcher Lou Burdett would actually have 3 wins in the series. He would end up winning World Series MVP. This would be their second of 3 World Series. We take the slightest break off of baseball, go to 1964, and the Summer Olympics would officially open up in Tokyo. But don't worry, we go right back to baseball in 1968. The Detroit Tigers would defeat the St. Louis Cardinals 4-1 in Game 7 of the World Series, winning the series 4-3, and Mickey Lolich would win MVP, getting 3 wins in the series. This would be the third of 4 World Series victories for the Tigers. 2 years later in 1970, we have the opening of a World Series, and in the first World Series to be played on artificial turf, the Orioles would overcome an early 3-0 deficit from the Cincinnati Reds, come back to win the game 4-3. Now we move to 1993, stay with baseball, but it's not World Series action. The BBWAA would select Frank Thomas as the American League MVP, and Thomas on the season, .317 average, 41 home runs, 128 RBIs. We're done with baseball now for a little bit. Go to 2004 in F1, having already clinched his record 7th F1 World Drivers' Championship. Michael Schumacher would win a record 13th race of the season with a victory at the Japanese Grand Prix. Then 6 years later in golf, at the Senior Players Championship, Mark O'Meara at 7 under would win his only Champions Tour major with a par on the first playoff hole against Michael Allen. Back to baseball now in 2011, and Texas Rangers left fielder Nelson Cruz hit the first walk-off grand slam in Major League playoff history when his 11th inning home run would help defeat Detroit 7-3 in Game 2 of the ALCS, giving the Rangers a 2-0 lead in the series. And we will end today off in 2019 in soccer football. 3,500 women would be the first to be allowed to attend a football match in Iran for a World Cup qualifier since the Islamic Revolution. So there you go. That's what happened on this day in sports history. If I left anything out, I do apologize, but I'll see everybody tomorrow for Nick Wire and the 10th inning.